is champion!
Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about why Lucio is going to be your auto-select for King of the Hill on support. There's just so much upside to him on the King of the Hill maps that it's difficult to justify situations where you would need the other support heroes. Really, I think it goes beyond just the mere min-maxing factor that Lucio's abilities really fit well with King of the Hill maps. I think it's also important to note that he's a blast to play in these maps. It opens up a lot of features and attributes of him that you don't necessarily get on every other map, and he's actually really fun to play in these scenarios. So we're going to go just down the list and take a look at why exactly he is such a strong support on pretty much all the King of the Hill maps. We'll start with speed boost. I mean, the speed boost at the beginning of a map, getting that early positioning, getting your team to the control point first, and establishing a defensive position on top of what generally is hard sight lines to counter. You can get in cover, and you have to force them to come to you at a certain point. It puts you in the defensive role, and the defensive role is generally the stronger one in these maps. And the maps are really small enough that you can pull off little things like running back to get respawning heroes back to the control point faster. You can take that extra few seconds to speed boost, get back, escort them back to the control point. You can do things like you can even chase down flankers with your flankers because it's not all that far from the main objective. It's maybe a 2 or 3 second extra excursion you can take from the control point quickly to try to hunt down somebody that's running away or trying to retreat. Because the maps are so confined and really focused, it's easy for Lucio to go on these minor excursions without really devastating his or compromising his position on the objective. In certain other maps, especially payload maps, if he takes an extra route away from the objective, a lot of times he's separated himself from players that need heals that are playing the objective themselves. Lucio in the smaller maps excels because his support range is more confined. He can cover a larger amount of players. Generally, your players are trying to either hold the control point or moving as a group to capture the control point. And in the more confined space, people generally tend to clump up more, and so you're getting more of a maximized effect on your heals. You're usually hitting at least 4 or 5 at all times. Finally, for whatever reason, the King of the Hill maps generally have a lot of places where you can knock people off the map and get the instant kill. And this is probably the most fun aspect of playing Lucio on these maps, is that he has this added extra one-shot kill ability that if you're near an area that you can knock somebody off, you need to try to line them up and push them off the cliff, and you've essentially become a damage dealer at that point because you've eliminated a player from their team with minimal effort. Funny enough, this works the other way too, because Lucio is one of the only characters, besides Mercy being able to jump to a target that she can see, Lucio is able to wall ride up cliffs that he's been pushed off of, so he has that defensive aspect that if there's an enemy Lucio forcing people off the cliff, he can work his way back up. The bottom line, guys, is if you haven't played Lucio in a King of the Hill map yet, give him a try. He's a blast to play. Even if you're not into support, try Lucio out. You're not going to be disappointed. Good luck out there, guys, and I'll see you next time.